Outlook for power sector is driven by the growth in demand, plant load factors on the generation side, availability of coal and capex in the sector. Out of the above, growth in demand is clearly muted. This is mainly on account of slower industrial growth, which accounts for 40% of the total consumption. We foresee a 4 to 5% growth in demand in financial year 17. This is not a very good news for the industry, as 80 gigawatt of coal-based capacity was added during financial year 11 till 15. Thus, we have a demand-supply mismatch, due to which the newly added capacity is not operating at optimal PLFs. The PLF for thermal segment is at 62% this year. This is unlikely to increase in the coming financial year. On the positive side, the domestic coal production has increased at a healthy rate of 10%, and as a result, the coal stocks at most power plants are at comfortable level. Thus, we do not foresee issues in domestic coal supplies in the coming year, as well as for the plants having linkages. Finally, the capex in the sector is largely restricted to renewables, and liquidity in the sector entities could improve due to Mission Uday. It is not a secret that SEBs have been the weakest link in the power sector value chain since a long time. Financial health of some of the entities remains a cause of concern. SEBs have been funding their revenue losses through debt, and now they are unable to service that debt in a timely fashion. Strong and viable SEBs are in the interest of the various segments, including consumers, power generators, bankers, equity investors, and the economy as a whole. However, it is clear that some of the larger loss-making SEBs will not be able to service their liabilities without support from their respective owner states as well as the central government. That's why Mission Uday is relevant in this context. It proposes to shift part of the liability to the states, which as owners and policy controllers for SEBs have to share responsibility. Second part of the plan is to stop further losses through operational improvement. This is easier said than done. Given the chronic nature of the problem, it could take longer than anticipated. Solar tariffs have been seeing sharp reduction, and in some cases they are lower than coal-based case 1 biddings. However, it is too early to say if solar power will help contain DISCOM tariffs. On the contrary, the tariffs could increase due to captive solar power. The industrial segment could shift to solar in the medium term, as the industrial tariffs are higher than the captive solar by 25 to 50%. This would mean that DISCOMs will lose a chunk of their top-paying consumers and will have to increase tariffs to compensate. Thus, it is a complex and evolving equation which has its own positives and negatives for the tariffs.